This was a video I was meant to make on Pants Lizard, but I couldn't get the script the way I wanted it, hence why there's been no upload on that channel for 5 months. I haven't just abandoned it. Life's been pretty crazy, of course. I did move recently. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are now on the horizon. There's just so much going on. I don't know when the next upload on that channel will be, but I haven't abandoned it. But I didn't want this video idea to go to waste. Even though I couldn't get the script done the way I wanted it to, I still wanted to talk about this topic. And plus, I didn't want to waste the beautiful thumbnail that Dina had drawn for me for this specific video that I never made. So we're just going to talk about this off the top of my head. That's the only way I can see this video working at this point. This is removed Pokemon features. Essentially, the point of this video was to talk about features that people are complaining Game Freak removed. I believe this list was sparked because of the National Dex controversy. Who's surprised? There's one image in particular I'm going to be talking about in this video. This image is chock full of removed features that we all definitely love and remember. I just counted, there are 43 features on this, and they actually forgot one that I personally actually really enjoy, so I will mention that feature at the end of the video. But yeah, if you enjoy this, leave a like. Whole YouTuber shtick, you know what to do. So, can we take a guess as to what the first retired or replaced features is on this? It's the National Dex, of course. Listen, I was disappointed as everyone else at first, and then I finally ended up understanding where they're coming from. They're just going to keep on adding more and more Pokemon. There's no way realistically they can fit every single Pokemon in every single game till the end of time. Something's got to change eventually. You can still not like it. You don't have to like it. I mean, I don't. In a perfect world, I would be able to use Houndoom in Pokemon Sword and Shield, but the world isn't perfect. So next up is following Pokemon. Now that one didn't age that well because they did actually add following Pokemon to the DLC of Sword and Shield, although it was dog shit. It wasn't good. So I was willing to let them have this. I was willing to say, yeah, they removed following Pokemon and it sucks. But then Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl have following Pokemon in them. So yeah, not really retired or replaced. It's not forgotten. It's still a feature. They decided to do riding Pokemon from Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. That game isn't even that old to where I would consider it a forgotten feature, but sure. Yeah, riding Pokemon in that game was so cool. And I would love it if it was in every future Pokemon game, but I know that that's not realistic. I feel like this list is just a big old pile of nitpick. It's interesting to look at though. Next up, we have the Dex Nav. People are mad that they removed the Dex Nav. I mean, I was never the biggest fan of the Dex Nav, mainly because I suck ass at it. I'm just sitting here looking at this list. I'm only on feature number 4, and I'm just thinking, like, imagine if there was a Pokemon game with every single one of these features. You've got to have NPCs to explain these features to you. It would just be bloated. Like we've played a ROM hack with too much content in it before, and it was just hilarious. It was just funny. It was just like, I don't even have any other word to describe it. So I just want to know what the thought process behind this list is. Are you saying they should keep the same features and not try something new? Because I guarantee you, if all these features were all still in Pokemon games to this day, people would be complaining that they don't do anything new. It just don't make... Okay, so yeah, Dex Nav. I think there is kind of a way they could maybe make Dex Nav work with one screen. My point originally was going to be, how could you do it without 2 screens? They could probably make it work with one screen somehow. I mean, they're making the Poketch work on the Nintendo Switch, so they definitely could make the Dex Nav work somehow with one screen, but is it really something we need in every single Pokemon game? Now this one I can get behind. The player search system, that was a pretty flawless way of playing online with friends and passerbys. Yeah, the PSS was pretty flawless. I won't complain about that. I would, if they just kept that as their online service, their way of connecting online. Like, listen, Nintendo, Game Freak, Pokemon, you don't need to reinvent ways to connect with people online. The PSS would be perfectly fine. Nobody liked the Festival Plaza, and to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the code searching system. I do like it as an option, but the code searching system as a way I have to play with my friends in Swish, I'm not here for it. Now next up we have super training. Did anybody use super training? I was actually using it myself. I'm doing an ORAS cage lock, and in that cage lock I had to get reset bags. So I use super training for that. But besides that, did anybody use super training? I think if they made super training better, people would use it. If they made it so you got more than like 4 EVs per round or whatever, maybe you just have a set amount of EVs you want to give. You can set it up to 252 max, and obviously if you're doing 252 EVs, you gotta, you know, go for longer or whatever. But super training has potential to be good. I don't think anybody's like denying that, but the way it was implemented, it's not a good feature. Next we have Soar. Are you saying you want, okay, I know they're not actually saying this, but I was gonna say, are you saying you want Mega Latios to fly us across every region ever? I know they're not saying that. They probably just want the ability to fly across any region. And I agree, it was actually a pretty good feature. I wouldn't be against them adding Soar. And like, you know, if in BDSP, you could fly on the back of a Staraptor the way you flew on the back of Mega Latios, I'd be okay with that. Contests, just a bit of a weird one. Do you want contests to be in every single Pokemon game? Like I said, I feel like every Pokemon game have like different focuses and stuff. And the focus of Sword and Shield was battling. Where does contests fit in with that? Where does contests go there? The Safari Zone too? I mean, the wild area was kind of like one big Safari Zone if you think about it. The Safari Zone is cool, but it's kind of just like if every country worked the same. That's what it feels like, because they're complaining about all these removed features, and it's just like, well, it's kind of like complaining not every country has a Tesco. Maybe not the best example, but yeah. We have Ball Seals. That one, of course, didn't age well. Ball Seals are back in BDSP. I think Ball Seals would be a cool feature to have in every game, but they're not necessary. I think one thing that Pokemon really like doing is they like having a reason for you to go back and play these older games. Like, oh, I'm gonna go revisit Sinnoh. Oh, in Sinnoh, there are Ball Seals. That's a cool feature about Sinnoh. Oh, Sinnoh has the underground. Whereas if every Pokemon game had an underground system and Ball Seals, it just wouldn't be a part of Sinnoh's magic. I don't know, maybe I'm just talking out my ass. Maybe they're just lazy and don't want to put them in every game. Maybe they just don't want to bloat their games with a bunch of features. Ever think about that? Battle Frontier? I'm not really, because after Battle Frontier it follows up with World Tournament. I know they're not exactly the same thing, but like I said, a lot of this list is just bloating it, because I don't know, if this were me, I would put like post-game battle system as like I guess a forgotten feature. But then even then, Sword and Shield had the Battle Tower. Do you want the World Tournament, the Battle Frontier, the Battle Tower all to be in the same game? Like this list is just bloated. I don't know what else to say. They're complaining about roaming legendaries being removed. Why on earth would you ever complain about that? Plus, it didn't age well because Sword and Shield added roaming legendaries to the DLC. Roaming legendaries aren't fun. Who fucking wants roaming legendaries? Easy and hard modes. The way they were implemented in Black and White 2 was dog shit, but if they did add an easy and hard mode, I don't think anybody would complain. I don't think they ever will, but if they did, I don't think anyone would complain. Mega Evolution's a bit of a funny one because Mega Evolution is still relevant in Pokemon Go, and it's also in Mystery Dungeon, the latest Mystery Dungeon. So I don't think it's been forgotten or retired. I just think they're putting it into other parts of the franchise. Z moves, good riddance, honestly. Not a fan of Z moves personally. Like Z moves are literally like an Alola based thing. Like do we want every region to be having Z moves? I don't know. I feel like I'm repeating myself here, which is why the script was hard for this video. Secret bases. Again, like I said, I think they like having these features that draw you back to that region. Like, oh, I miss playing Hoenn because of secret bases. Said nobody ever. Secret bases weren't that great. I personally never played with them much. The Underground, of course, didn't age well because the Underground is coming back with BDSP, but there doesn't need to be an underground system in every Pokemon game. There really doesn't. It would get boring, and I just want to know the goal of this list other than to create outrage. Like, oh my god, look at all these features that they've removed. They are horrible. It's like, no, this just shows you how much they experiment and how many different things they try over the years. Join Avenue. I don't even know what this does, truthfully. I just know Join Avenue was the name of a streamer group I was a part of very briefly back in like 2017. I don't know what Join Avenue is for. Wi-Fi Plaza, never used it personally, but I'm pretty sure it's Diamond and Pearl, so that's going to be coming back. The Friend Safari, now that's something I can get behind. Friend Safari would be a super sick thing to have in every single game. I'm a big fan of Friend Safari. They shouldn't have, I guess, removed that. Pokestar Studios. It's the worst part of Black and White 2, to be honest. It's the worst part of Black and White 2. Why would you? I mean, I know it was a removed feature or whatever, but like, again, it's just fluff. Nobody cares about this. Why would you be mad at them moving the Mach and Acro bikes? Especially if there's no like obstacles across the regions whatever. O-powers were absolute dog shit. I'm not a big fan of O-powers. It just reminds me of gachas too much. Not a fan. Swarms, I don't know if I've ever really been super into swarms. There are certain things that kind of just overwhelm me, and swarms were definitely one of them. Horde battles, I will agree. I was a big fan of horde battles. I love horde hunting. It's good for EV training. I think hordes definitely could have stayed. Sky battles, nobody misses sky battles. Sky battles are the reason a lot of Pokemon that fly look like shit. Nobody misses sky battles. Seasons, yeah, seasons could definitely stay. There's no way that only the Unova region goes through seasons, so I can't even argue against that one. Pokegear rematches radio. You want a Pokegear in every game? Mom's Bank. I guess it could be nice to have Mom offer you to save half your money in every game. I can't really argue against that one. The Dream World and Eternal Link. I never really experienced the Dream World much myself, but it just seems tedious, and I don't know, it was kind of like a gimmick of Black and White, wasn't it? Like, I can't really see it being in any other game. The auto run toggle, yeah, that could stay. I won't argue against that one. Second region. Come on now. Come on now. To be fair, they kind of did that with Crown Tundra. I was gonna say Arctic Tundra. That's the name of a Juice WRLD song. They kind of did it with Crown Tundra. It's I guess it's still technically a part of Galar, but it's like, I don't know. The Pokeathlon, I'm a Pokeathlon hater. I wouldn't want the Pokeathlon in every single game. I don't know, don't you guys think it's super sick that like every Pokemon region has their own thing going for it? Imagine if every Pokemon region just had a Pokeathlon. That shit would be boring. Pokemon being stripped down to its like core of like rivals, evil team, 8 gyms in a Pokemon League, and then kind of just filling out everything else. I like that. I don't want there to be like a Pokeathlon in every game. The game corner, we know why they removed that though. They don't want children to gamble and stuff. The battle tent. I did like the battle tent a lot, but I'm repeating myself. Why on earth do we need that in every game? The berry blending. I thought berry blending was pretty tedious, and eventually it just ended up being like a way to evolve. It was the way to evolve Milotic, right? That was basically the whole point of it, I think. I mean, also for contests and stuff, but people mainly did it for evolving Milotic, I think. And then they just added the prism scale. Triple battles. Not the biggest fan of triple and rotation battles, which is another feature they added here, by the way. They were a neat concept, but they're not necessary. Inverse battles were okay. It would have been cool if there was a way to battle with them online. I don't recall there ever being a way to battle with them online, but if there was, I would not be against it. Mythical events, I'll agree with that. Most mythical events now are dog shit. Like for BDSP, they're just giving away Manaphy. Okay. The trick house, you telling me there has to be a man in every region that has a house full of trickery? No, that man just lives in Hoenn. It would be a very Pokemon thing to do though, is to give him a brother or a sister or a son or a daughter and have them also have their own trick house in other regions. That would be a very Pokemon thing to do. The Verse Seeker, you already complained about rematches on the Pokegear radio. Now we're complaining about the Versus Seeker being removed. Like imagine if there was the Pokegear rematches plus the Verse Seeker in the same game. Like those features are pretty similar. And lastly, yeah, like I said, rotation battles. Rotation battles are confusing. I watched someone do a competitive rotation battle years ago, and it was just kind of like them dragon dancing with one Pokemon and then sweeping. I don't think they're cool, but they don't have to be in every game. So out of every feature that is actually worth a shit, I have to count. I would say maybe like 10 or 11 of these features are actually worth complaining about. I think following Pokemon's good, riding Pokemon's good, PSS, super training, and soaring. These are all good features that I think could realistically be a part of every Pokemon game. Friend Safari is 6, Horde battles are 7, Seasons are 8, Mom's bank account is 9, Auto Run Toggle is 10, Inverse battles is 11, and Mythical events is 12. Besides that, I think I'll put an image on screen of all the features I crossed out. These are the only features that are worth it in my opinion, like worth being up in arms about them removing. And even still, like it's not like they removed the ability to connect to other people on the internet completely. Like the PSS system was perfect, but there's still other ways to connect to people online. And I mean, following Pokemon has come back in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and they have made EV training a lot easier, at least in Sword and Shield, so super training isn't necessarily essential either. Riding Pokemon, as cool as it is, it's not realistic for most games, but I would love it. The same with soaring. Friend Safari, like I said, I would love that. There's not really much of an excuse for that. Horde battles, again, not much of an excuse for them to take that away. Seasons too. Seasons could definitely stay. Auto run, I'm pretty sure that's actually a thing in Sword and Shield. Like that's not even, like running shoes aren't even a thing in Sword and Shield. I completely forgot about that. So I don't really, what do I even say about that? Inverse battles, that's just a personal thing. I just want to flex my knowledge of the type chart. And then mythical event, like besides, like most of these features are just unrealistic to want in every single game. Like I said, a lot of this list just feels like nitpicking, and they actually forgot a feature that I love. Ultra Sun Ultra Moon added the ability to customize your Pokeball throw animation. I'm pretty sure it was Ultra Sun Ultra Moon. I don't think Sun and Moon had it. And they haven't done that since. Give us the ability to customize our Pokeball throw animation. That is one of the coolest things you've ever done, Pokemon, and you've just removed it. That's my feature that's going to turn me into the Joker. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope this was insightful, maybe enjoyable to watch. Let me know your thoughts on all the features that we talked about in the comments. I will leave a link to this image so you can like open it up and look at it yourself. And yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your day.